Breaking news. The internet is ablaze. The Harris family is in disarray. Additionally, physicians are saying things that no fan would ever want to hear. Would King Harris's life really come to an end? The boy, born into a royal family, is now on the verge of a heartbreaking goodbye. Consider this. The lights in the hospital are dim. Family members gathered. Physicians pushed a report across the table that might alter everything forever. And phones buzzed with ignored calls. King Harris's last farewell is the last remark, the last report, and the question that everyone is thinking about. Consider it. How did we get here? Once an unstoppable celebrity with the whole world yelling his name, he is now reduced to medical jargon, tearful faces, and murmurs of quiet. The use of social media is on the rise. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter are all in a breakdown. Haters are gloating, insiders are leaking, and fans are praying. And believe me when I tell that what they're saying is more sinister than you would have imagined. This is more than just a headline, so fasten your seatbelt. This is the tale of a young legend whose silence may reverberate more than his music ever did. A tale of power, demise, treachery, and the last curtain call. There was an unusual quiet in that intensive care unit. It was the kind of quiet that turns even the noisiest spaces like funerals. At the heart of it all was King Harris, the rising star and contentious prince of the Harris dynasty, lying still as his family held on to every breath he could. Doctors muttered. Nurses paused in mid-step. This was more than simply a medical emergency. Let's face it, the storm that had been building for months culminated in this. King Harris was more than simply another famous child. No. He was the one who consistently broke the rules, made headlines, and lived his life as if the rules only applied to him. Recall the controversies, the tapes that were released, the late-night fights, and the astounding Instagram posts in which he attacked everyone from detractors to powerful people in the business. Yes, the King Harris, who made his name a curse as well as a crown. Therefore, it wasn't only a matter of life or death when the final report's words began to reverberate through the hospital's walls. It has to do with legacy. What became of King Harris's myth? If this is the end indeed. But let's go back in time because that intensive care unit bed wasn't where this tragedy began. It began months ago when internet rumors of his deteriorating health first appeared. It was not taken seriously back then. Supporters dismissed it with laughter. It was described as attention-seeking drama by critics. Y'all want me gone so bad, huh? Be careful what you wish for. King responded with his typical sarcasm, releasing cryptic tweets that said, "Well, wishes have a way of turning into nightmares." The Harris family allegedly concealed the facts for weeks. According to insiders, according to unnamed nurses, King's hospital stays were emergency situations rather than simple checks. Actions. One claimed insider said that he was falling more often than anybody thought. The family didn't want the brand to seem weak, so they kept it secret. Not the guy, not the person, but the brand. And the scandal becomes more complicated from there. For King Harris was more than simply a victim of circumstance. The machine he was living within required power, performance, and perfection, and the fissures appeared when he was unable to keep up. Consider the previous year. During a concert, he stormed off stage in the middle of a song after having a public breakdown. His admirers called him ungrateful. He was ridiculed by headlines. However, King allegedly exclaimed, "I can't do this anymore," before breaking down in tears during the private breakdown backstage that no one saw. The ICU monitors are now blaring for his life as a result of the same collapse. This is when things get even more gloomy because his physicians are concerned in what caused it, not simply about his health. According to one secret study, organ failure is caused by stress. Another source alluded to harmful self-medication, energy boosters, tablets, and other things that gave him highs but ruined his health. And you have to wonder whether King Harris dug his own grave or if the industry did this to him. Twitter doesn't mince words. It's funny that the family is crying now. Where was all this love? Says one post that went viral. Fans are divided, however, as one person states frankly, King lived wild. Now he's paying the price when he was screaming for help. Trending hashtags that include devastating fan art, old concert footage, and desperate comments include Chuck or Prayer Fork and Catch Final Goodbye. More than 10 million people have already seen a video of a little child sobbing while clutching King's picture. The worst part is still to come. The vultures are circling as the family assembles at his bedside. Everyone wants a piece of the last chapter, the last photo, the last story, the last farewell. tabloids, bloggers, YouTubers, you name it. However, what is included in such report? That is the crucial question. A do not resuscitate order according to some. Some say it's a chronology. According to reports, doctors are getting ready to inform King's family that there is no way to reverse his illness. What if you heard that about your kid? What if you heard about your brother? Imagine learning about the one individual who, despite the turbulence, brought the Harris legacy into a new age, and they're shattering the family. Ty hasn't left the hospital in days, according to witnesses. For once, Tiny has been seen avoiding cameras while sobbing excessively and smearing her makeup. Additionally, siblings are sending mysterious comments such as, "Pray for us and God knows best." However, the internet is collapsing as the Harris family breaks down separate because King Harris isn't the only one involved. This concerns all young celebrities who are devoured by the spotlight, spewed out by the business, and abandoned when the cameras stop rolling. Still, the rumors continue to circulate. There is more to the tale, according to some sources. There is more to the king's situation than simply his health. It's connected to something more profound. The family does not want it to be revealed. Something that may make this farewell the most scandalous one yet. What may it be? Laundering of money, covert transactions, a secret tape. No one is certain. Believe me, however, people are digging. Furthermore, this last chapter of King Harris may not just end tragically if what I'm hearing is accurate. It might come to a shocking conclusion that alters our understanding of the Harris dynasty. Here's the deal, then. Rarely are murmurs simply whispers when they grow this loud. There was more to King Harris's alleged last report than just his health. Oh no, the dirtier it becomes. The deeper you go. Insiders also claim that the Harris empire would be destroyed if the true story were ever made public. View files that have been leaked. Indeed, there is more than organ failure or stress breakdowns as shown by real medical data that have been hacked and are being shared in encrypted groups. These purported reports claim that King's body contained evidence of illegal narcotics from unaffiliated private vendors, suppliers with alleged ties to Atlanta underground networks. Incidentally, Ring is notorious for money laundering, providing illicit stimulants, and wait for it, secretly supporting the lavish lives of celebrities whose name appears repeatedly in these dubious documents. Harris King, consider it. Before even reaching his prime, a 19-year-old is living the life of a rock star. Exotic automobiles, parties that made Vegas red in the face, and jewelry drops that surpassed some rapper's yearly salary. Supporters believed it to be Daddy T's funds. What if it wasn't, though? Imagine King had sponsors of his own, the kind that don't show up. The final farewell isn't just about bidding King Harris the person farewell. According to one alleged insider, the Harris family knew. They knew the money wasn't clean, but they looked the other way. As long as the lifestyle matched the image, nobody asked questions up in Forbes, but do show up in FBI investigations. When investigators put together the source of that money and the extent of the family's involvement, it's important to prepare for the repercussions. Social media is becoming crazy. Screenshots of the Harris ledger transactions, coded identities, and money traces are already said to be available on a popular TikTok. Millions are watching, fake or not. A single top remark encapsulates it. They never had royal status. They were crowns and hustlers. The most terrifying aspect, however, comes next. Weeks ago, doctors allegedly told King's family if King didn't change his habits, his body wouldn't last. And look what happened. There is purported documentation of the warnings. The family cannot claim ignorance since his file has handwritten comments signed by experts. They cannot seem unprepared. They received a warning. Nevertheless, the performance continued. Lawyers are rushing while cameras outside the hospital see tea packing and small wiping tears inside closed doors. Because the Harris name won't be used if this final investigation reveals carelessness or worse, a cover-up. Carelessness or worse, a cover-up. It will suffer legally. It will only suffer emotionally. Imagine government investigations, lawsuits, and news stories like Harris Dynasty under investigation after King's death. And admirers, they are more divided than ever. Some people are incensed. For the sake of the brand, they let him die. Stop attacking them. They're already suffering, is one argument used in support of the family. Although the harm has already been done, King Harris's untouchability mystique is beginning to crumble. Let's return to those anonymous disclosures now, because a shocking revelation was made by a different person who claimed to be a former family acquaintance. King the night was privately recorded before to his fall. He was in a panic, claiming to have been set up and feeling deceived. People will realize that this wasn't an accident when that tape comes to light. Hold on. A betrayal of setup that completely changes the story. Is it possible that King Harris's breakdown was caused by someone wanting him to keep quiet rather than by stress or poor habits? If so, what is the reason? What secrets did he possess that would make him dangerous? Supporters have theories. The wild ones. According to others, King was going to reveal dishonest business people. Others think he was prepared to come out of his family's shadow and reveal information that would have caused embarrassment to the dynasty. In any case, if the tape is authentic, it's a conspiracy rather than just a health issue. This is the point at which the internet explodes. Users are connecting with hashtags like Doc Hulk King and a Chow setup. It's similar to amateur detective work. He posted a video on his most recent Instagram story with the words, "Y'all think you know me, you don't." It's funny to look back on, isn't it? Meanwhile, sources report commotion back at the hospital. It's like a war room, said one nurse. While the doctors are doing their duties, the family is fighting, sobbing, and blaming one another. It's not just grief, it's guilt. If there is guilt in the air, just think of the consequences if detectives begin looking into King's contracts, the Harris accounts, and the dubious financing trails. We're discussing illicit business practices, tax fraud, and even criminal accusations. The type of backlash that ruins dynasties, not just careers. That's not even the last twist, however. According to rumors, physicians are working on a report that goes beyond medical matters. A timetable and a harsh clinical summary of King's decline day by day, warning after warning, and repeated disregard are included. The family won't be able to fabricate the story if that paper is made public. The truth will come to light. It wasn't an abrupt change. It was gradual, avoidable, and driven by decisions, both his and theirs. And now for the crucial question. Is it released by the family itself? Being accountable before the leak, or do they conceal it in the hopes that the contents won't be seen online? Because, believe me, the internet is quite skilled at digging. And guess what? This is where the Harris family's last straw, public outrage, and government attention all come together in this tragedy. Because King Harris's life won't end when the final report is out. Everything that his family has ever built might be destroyed. Whispers become roars when the final report is finalized. Hospital hallways are no longer made of tents. They serve as battlefields. Every line, chart, and signature is said to have been quadruple examined by doctors because there is no going back once this information is made public. According to sources, there is already a leak. Consider this. The medical breakdown of King Harris is not the only thing described in the study. Allegedly, it contains information on every private supplier, suspicious transaction, disregarded warning, and the most explosive element. Notes imply that King's closest family members may have manipulated his way of life. Naturally, the internet detects it before anyone else does. Chaos spreads more quickly than wildfire as early screenshots appear on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Comments like shouts of battle. For financial gain, they let him die. The Harris dynasty is unclean. This is greed, not mourning. Supporters aren't being reserved. The untouchable celebrity mystique was destroyed. The first legal battle follows. Attorneys purporting to represent unnamed sources begin to allude to malpractice cases rather than minor claims. We're discussing federal inquiries, financial malfeasance probes, and possible criminal charges in the event that impropriety is discovered. The public perception of the Harris family is deteriorating, and one purported insider told a fake news site, "This could be bigger than Enron for Atlanta." The comparison might be dramatic, but the fear real. Videos of little packing hospitals and tea go viral. Both pundits and meme creators examine every level and every tense look, not to mention fancy automobiles, private planes, and ostentatious presence. All examined under the suspicion microscope, fans argue. Were they efforts to divert attention from the scandal, or were they expressions of love? There are other battlefields than social media. According to anonymous calls to media sources, King purportedly expresses concerns about covert agreements and contracts involving friends, family, and business associates on private recordings. The narrative changes from one of sorrow to one of full-fledged conspiracy if those tapes are made public. Multiple sites are reportedly engaged in a bidding battle for exclusive access. According to sources, the public's response is explosive. According to online surveys, most people think that King's close associates knew more than they acknowledged. Around the world, hashtags like EO Harris Exposed and Justice for King are trending. In place of birthday greetings and song excerpts, fan sites now have threads that piece together dates, events, and private encounters. Reddit turns become a full-fledged investigative site. The alleged final report is then released in bits and pieces, but not formally. It's also cruel. Headlines are dominated by in-depth accounts of disregarded medical advice, financial problems, and odd supplier activities. The research, according to analysts, suggests possible willful neglect. Questions come up. Did the family put Empire's interests ahead of King's? Were choices manipulated for financial gain by outside influencers? Legal experts make conjectures on potential civil and criminal consequences in the meanwhile. According to reports, corporate attorneys counsel the family to be ready for asset freezes, subpoenas, and perhaps even forced resignations from brand deals and boards. Ty King has partnerships in every industry, including music, sponsorships, and rights are being examined. If misconduct is confirmed, the consequences include not just humiliation, but also financial ruin. The public is also unrelenting. Mass comment campaigns, internet petitions, and street demonstrations call on authorities to reveal the truth. A candlelight vigil outside a hospital is seen in one widely shared video with fans saying, "No more silence. We want justice." It's dramatic, symbolic, and impossible to ignore. Insiders also allude to a psychological cost. Family members are allegedly at odds. Press leaks of private disputes and the reappearance of old grudges. The togetherness that was previously shown in media appearances is disintegrating. Rumors of internal conflicts and covert settlements probes as well as hush money. Additionally, keep in mind that the whispered recording from part analysts says it might come out at any time, which could validate accusations of manipulation and treason. Pop culture allusions are also common on Instagram and TikTok. Memes that liken the Harris family to reality TV dynasties proliferate. Talk programs, entertainment websites, and late-night presenters analyze every perspective, combining indignation and comedy. And in typical viral fashion, a horrific story is created by combining hospital video with snippets of King's previous performances. Behind-the-scenes turbulence silences talent. However, the worst is still to come. According to investigative websites, the leak might lead to multi-agency investigations. State regulators, the FBI, and the IRS may all participate forces. According to anonymous insiders, this might alter celebrity responsibility in America if the financial irregularities and incompetence align. That's enormous. Greater than rumors, greater than news stories. For any celebrity leading a double life, this might alter the course of events. The tipping point follows. King Harris's fall was at least partially avoidable, according to a former partner. If warnings had been heeded, he may have been rescued. But no one wanted to pay attention. The management, the family, and sometimes even the monarch himself. Just this claim incites public indignation and paves the way for potential multi-party litigation. The public relations staff for the Harris family is already in a panic. According to reports, spin doctors, crisis managers, and public relations specialists strive 247 to manage the story, make comments, and plan damage control interviews. However, it is very difficult to manage a narrative this combustible in the social media era. Every error and defensive quotation is analyzed and mocked online. The worst part is still to come. The farewell that began the story is no longer only a medical occasion. It is the headline of a complex scandal that includes financial malfeasance, health care neglect, and maybe intentional manipulation. The whole globe is watching. Authorities, the media, and fans are all anticipating what will happen next. Every action, statement, and choice made by the Harris family is closely examined. Legal fights are expected to endure months, according to analysts. Years of social media hysteria and the public's memories for all time. Even though King Harris is no longer with us, the effects of his last days may last for centuries. Contracts canceled, sponsors reevaluating relationships, and a damaged public image. It's a slow-motion scenario of total collapse. Here's the reality as portion concludes. The Harris family is at a turning point in its history. Transparency, accountability, and perhaps atonement are the outcomes of one root. The other ongoing lies, court mishaps, and the irreversible tarnishing of their reputation. The world awaits their decision, and for years to come, whatever transpires will be analyzed, discussed, and dramatized. This isn't simply a celebrity tale. Don't get me wrong. It's a warning about money, power, secrecy, and the ultimate cost of being blind to the truth. And there's no doubt about that. The last farewell from King Harris has already altered everything. Pay attention. This is not only an event. A full-fledged storm has hit. What started off as a heartbreaking medical issue has turned into a global controversy with King Harris's last farewell. Leaked reports, possible legal investigations, and family conflicts. Completely explosive. We're not going to stop here either. Consider it. Was King's welfare really subordinated to the family's empire? Do insider reports and leaked recordings have any merit? Additionally, the most important issue is if there is any more hidden evidence that might make a difference. Celebrity scandals are the lifeblood of our culture, and this one is the most shocking to go viral to yet. It's your time now. Go to the comments and share your true thoughts with us. Is the family ensnared in power and greed, or is it innocent? Between the leaks, insiders, and public outcry, we're not only making assumptions, your voice is important as well. If you think King Harris has been harmed, hit the like button. Additionally, distribute this film so that everyone is aware of who is really taking a position and who is only acting. Additionally, remember to subscribe since you will only be able to access all of the surprising truths on Gossip Spill Vibe. Every celebrity controversy and leaked information was made public more quickly, loudly, and brutally than any place else. For you, we expose, we uncover, and we make every narrative into absolute drama. Because this story is far from done, pay attention. Be vigilant and enable alerts. King Harris's farewell has only garnered media attention, and the next surprise can appear on your television at any time. You cannot afford to miss this drama, so join the Gossip Spill Vibe right now. Right now.